and welcome back to my channel. And if you're new here, my name's Elise and I am currently in recovery from anorexia. So I've been requested to do a Q&A video, so that's what I'm going to be doing today while I have some lunch. So go make yourself some lunch or a snack, or just grab some food and come and join me while we have a little Q&A session. So I will see you in a minute. So I've just made my lunch now. I'm having bruschetta with some vegan cheese melted on top, my juice, and some ginger nut biscuits. So adding the cheese back in, which is really scary, but we're here to do it. So I thought I can just eat and answer some questions as time goes on. So I'm gonna take a bite first though. So probably the most common question I actually got was, what is my job or profession? I am actually a full-time student at uni. I currently also work in a coffee shop, so I don't have like a profession as such. I currently study animal ecology at uni, so I'm a huge animal lover, and I do hope to get into maybe teaching and research. I'm not 100% sure yet. So my job is technically to be a full-time student as well as working part-time in a coffee shop. So another question was, what was my favorite animal? And this is a really hard question for me because I don't have a favorite animal. I love all animals. I have animal tattoos, like that's why I'm vegan. But currently I'm obsessed with something called the mola mola. I'll put a picture of it here. It is also known as the ocean sunfish, and I think it's just because I really love saying that name, mola mola, so it sounds really cool. My current passion project is, I don't know, I actually do a lot of wildlife photography on the side, so that's always been really fun. And I love reading books about animals, and pretty much anything to do with animals is like a passion project. I also used to love surfing, so I'm really hoping to get back into it this year. Obviously when I was really sick, I didn't get into it much, and I love travel and adventure. My dream job was another question, would probably be, I'd love to be a documentary maker like the next David Attenborough, but except the next Elise Tancredi. Like make nature documentaries, because I love teaching and I love educating and I love learning, so it like combines everything I enjoy. So if I could travel anywhere in the world, where would you go? Definitely Antarctica. I've had this weird obsession with trying to get to Antarctica. I want to see it. It's just a place people can say, like, how many people can say they've been to Antarctica? Like, how epic would that be? So I'd love to get on a research trip to Antarctica. I actually asked the uni if I could go for placement, and they said, yeah, but you've got to organise it. And I had no clue how to approach that, so I ended up doing placement locally. Nicknames I have. I get called Alice a lot because my name is spelled A-L-Y-C-E, and so people think it's Alice. And so I guess that's a nickname, but other than that, I just get called Elise, so it's not very exciting. Sometimes I get called Tank, because of my last name being Tancredi, and I'm 5'3", so I'm a big tank, clearly. My favourite food, this is a tricky question. I'm really loving bruschetta at the moment, which is the spread I have today, and I'm gonna have another bite. I don't know if I really have a favourite food. I guess in recovery it's really hard to say if you like food or not, because every food still seems pretty intimidating. So yeah, probably don't really have a favourite food at the moment, though I do love the was it raspberry and chocolate ice cream? That's really nice. What fictional character do I most relate to? I was thinking about this the other day, and I was thinking maybe Hermione Granger, because I love study. I always put my study first. I love being a student, but also I'm not afraid to put up a fight. So yeah, maybe Hermione Granger. I think she's a really epic female character. Where do I see myself in 5 years? Hopefully recovered. not hopefully, I will be recovered and hopefully having kids. Where our house is currently getting built, so I'll be living in our house, working my dream job as a nature documentary maker, and having my little ones running around with me and spending time on the beach with my friends and their little ones, and we're all recovered and we're all happy. Ooh, my favorite ice cream flavor. I think I literally just said the strawberry and dark chocolate ice cream is probably my favorite at the moment. Though I do love a mint ice cream, but I haven't found a good vegan one yet, so I'm working on that. Something I've always wanted to do but haven't, besides go to Antarctica, I've always wanted to go to Galapagos as well. Clearly there's an animal theme to everything I want to do. If my younger self could meet me as an adult, what would they be most impressed by? Probably my tenacity and determination. Like, you couldn't even tell that I was literally having the biggest meltdown before I jumped on camera today, because I challenged myself to this like cookie sandwich, salted caramel cookie sandwich. I'll put a picture in for you so you can see it. And I had literally the biggest meltdown, but I'm sitting here, I'm doing what my dietitian wants me. I'm adding my cheese to my meal. I'm increasing my intake because I want my weight to go up. I want to get better. And I want to be a good example for everyone. So I think that determination and tenacity is something that my younger self would definitely be impressed by. What is my favorite season? Normally it's summer because I love the beach, but right now I'm actually craving like winter and greenery, and I think it's because I just want to wear jumpers, because obviously in recovery it's much easier to wear those comfy clothes, and I have some really nice jumpers that I'm waiting to wear. How do I deal with bad body image days? Honestly, I probably don't deal with them very well. I just wear loose, comfy clothes. I just cover up mirrors in my room if I've got any that need covering, or I can cover them. I just try and avoid my reflection. And I try and think of all the things, like other things in life that are more interesting than my body. Or I even do some body gratitude. So like I might hold my stomach and say, thank you for looking after me. Like, our bodies are amazing. They have literally kept us alive through an eating disorder. Like, that is incredible. So sometimes I'll just show my body some gratitude by doing that. Do you find mental health services are good in Australia? I'm in Ireland and they're not good at all. Honestly, this is really hard to tell because everyone has such different experiences. So personally, I found the public system didn't really do much for me. We had a lot of trouble with it, which I know a lot of people do. But I'm currently seeing a private team and they've been absolutely amazing. So I hope you can find your treatment team that can really help you through. And if you can go private, it's really worth it. So what do I want to do in the future? I've already answered this a few times. Obviously, I want to work with animals and hopefully do nature documentaries because I love being on camera. How do your friends and family cope? Honestly, they are a godsend. They are angels in my lives. Like, living with someone who has an eating disorder is a challenge in itself, and I know how difficult we can be, especially when the eating disorder takes over. Like, it's literally like being possessed, and I feel so bad for my friends and my family, especially my parents, when they have to be around me when I'm in like anorexia mode. But I'm getting better at recognizing it and trying to diffuse it. So I make sure to remind them to look after themselves, and like, go to training and get help if they need help as well, because it's a big thing. They're going through this with you. It's not just us going through it. So I do believe they are coping, but they do have their moments, and I've got to be mindful of that as well. So I always try and show my appreciation towards them when I can, and I always apologize if anorexia takes control and just causes a fuss. What made me leap into recovery? I was just fed up, because it fucking sucks having an eating disorder. I'm so sick of it already. And like I said, I was literally bawling before because I ate a friggin' cookie. I just knew I had to change, because if I didn't change, it wasn't going to end well for me. And I didn't want to be cycling in and out of hospital for the rest of my life. I didn't want my life to end because of anorexia. So I just gave myself no other choice. Other diagnoses I actually have a connective tissue disorder called Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. You might have heard of it. It's to do with the collagen in the body, and it's the bendy disease. So all my joints are hypermobile, and I dislocate my joints very easily. As you might actually see when I talk, like I can do all these like weird things with my hands, and like you see me, yeah, it's just weird. I've actually had like knee surgery and shoulder surgery and neck surgery because of it. So it's a pretty big, and it actually affects all systems in the body. So anything with collagen is affected, and as well as your autonomic nervous system as well. I've also got diagnosed with ADHD, if you can't already tell. So they're my other two diagnoses. How do I cope with weight gain? Honestly, in the moment, I don't tend to cope. I just cry. And that's my honest response to it. But I just keep bringing myself back to my reasons why I want to gain weight and why it's a good thing that I am gaining weight, because I want to have a family. I want to have a baby. I want to be healthy. I want to be able to just live a normal life and not be thinking about food 24/7. And I know that this body that I'm currently in, it can't hold a baby. It can't sustain a life inside it, because it's barely sustaining my life, let alone another child, or like a child's life. So I think just coming back to your why with weight gain and accepting that it's going to be hard and it's going to suck and that it feels like shit when you gain weight. You just have to accept that and just ride the feelings out. Cry if you need to, scream if you need to, but just don't give up. What's my college alma mater? I actually had to Google what this meant because we don't use that term here in Australia. It actually just means what uni I go to. So I'm currently at the University of the Sunshine Coast. So obviously I am based on the Sunshine Coast in Queensland, Australia. So lots of beaches, but there's also a lot of nature and forests around, and that's why it is quite sunny and hot a lot of time. It's a really hot day today, and I don't know why I chose to sit outside because of it. Support from my family. My parents have been amazing. I mean, obviously they struggle a lot as well with this, but they're not giving up on me, and I'm not going to give up because of them, and they deserve this recovery just as much as I feel like I deserve it. My favorite TV show or movie. So I always end up watching the same stuff over and over again. I used to like Gilmore Girls, but it's aged really badly, so I'm kind of not on that at the moment. I don't actually like movies. I don't have the attention span for them. I get really bored really quickly. And so, yeah, I don't really have a favorite TV show. Lately I've been like, sometimes I'll even revert back to watching like Dance Academy or H2O Just Add Water if I feel like just I need something really cheerful and corny to watch. Currently loving Virgin River at the moment though, even though I've seen it before. I was watching it again. How to deal with guilt after eating. You just gotta ride it out. Let the tears come, let the anger come, let the frustrations come, and just ride it out. There's really no secret solution to dealing with guilt. I know at times I don't really deal with it very well at all, and so I think, yeah, it's just learning to ride the urges to compensate. Don't compensate. Like, I had that cookie today. I could have compensated at lunch, and I chose not to, even though I still feel guilty from this damn cookie. Okay, so plans for the future. I've already done that one. Advantages of all-in recovery. It's just ripping the band-aid off. You don't have to slowly step through things. You can kind of just like jump into it, and instead of it being like little shocks all the time when you make these tiny little changes, it kind of just like shocks you once and then bam, you're doing it. And like, even though I've gone all in, there are still times when I'm still having to add food back in, just because of the way my body's metabolizing food at the moment. So one of the advantages is just ripping the band-aid off. It's less time suffering. It's so much quicker. And, you know, the less time you need to suffer, the better. And it helps you gain weight quicker as well, which means you can be restored quicker, which means you can start feeling better quicker. You can start getting the positive effects of weight restoration if you need to restore weight. Or just giving yourself the nutrition it needs. Even if you're just malnourished and don't need to gain weight, doing it quickly, it makes it so much easier on you mentally, even though it can be a bit of a shock at the start. Have I ever been anywhere else other than Australia? Yes, so I've been to New Zealand and I've been to Vietnam. I went to Vietnam with school, and I've been to Fiji, which I actually went with on schoolies. How do I open up to my friends about my eating disorder, and how do they support me? Honestly, they could tell there was a problem. They only had to look at me and how I was around food. But I just be honest with them. I just say, hey guys, I'm really struggling today. Do you mind if we eat together, or do you mind just helping me through this meal? And my friends are really great. They always say, like, if I want to do a challenge, they're happy to jump in on a challenge with me. So I just surrounding myself with positive people, and it's really good to surround yourself with people who have a good relationship with their body and their food, to be good role models for you as well. So how many siblings do I have? I have none. I'm an only child, so it's just me and my parents. But I do have pets, which sometimes can be like having siblings. My current help and support. So I'm seeing a treatment team privately. I see a psychologist, a dietitian, a psychiatrist, and a GP. And I'm also going to start an outpatient program run by one of the local hospitals. So that's, my current support. So how many children do you want and names? I'm not giving away the names, but I want at least 2 kids. I'd love to have a boy and a girl, but obviously I just want to have 2 healthy babies. And the names, I'm sorry, but I'm keeping them a secret. I know them though. What pets do I have and what would I like more? This is such a challenging question because I currently have a budgie. You've seen her in videos. We've also got 2 fish. I've had fish in the past. We used to have a dog, but he passed away. I actually got his name tattooed. Oh, not doing a very good job there. Tattooed on my arm. I was that obsessed with him. He's a little Maltese Shih Tzu cross. I definitely want more pets. When we move into our new house, I hope to be able to rescue a greyhound. I'd love to get a blue-tongued lizard because I just think they're really cool, and I hear they're actually really affectionate. So yeah, huge animal nut. I'd have an animal sanctuary if I could. I'd have a zoo if I could. So consuming more food and body changes like stomach feelings, bloatedness, discomfort, metabolism, body changes, etc. Honestly, my body hasn't changed too much just yet. I'm still in the early stages of recovery, but in regards to bloating and stuff, I just remind myself it is normal for those things to happen. It is part of the body's digestive process. Everyone bloats. And everyone's metabolism is different. I just try not to think about it too much, if I'm honest, and just accept that my body changes. Like, our bodies change daily. It doesn't matter if you have an eating disorder or not, your body changes daily. And, you know, you're always shedding new skin cells, your organs are always repairing and healing, and like, people can gain kilograms and lose kilograms just in one day, just based on hormonal changes. So it's normal for bodies to change. We're not stagnant creatures, we're dynamic creatures. So I guess just reminding myself of that. How to handle overwhelm in the moment when you're hysterically sobbing. I think I just let myself feel the overwhelm and I just hysterically sob, like let the feelings out. Journaling can really help with that, I find. Like, I can put my thoughts on paper or talking to someone that I trust. And honestly, I just kind of like hold my weighted platypus sometimes and just cry into that, or I scream into my pillow because, you know, sometimes you've just got to let those feelings out. So, am I closer to my mum or my dad? I mean, this is kind of a weird question. I probably say I'm close to my mum, but that's because my dad used to work away a lot. But I am an only child, so I'm pretty close to both my parents. And honestly, going through recovery with them has made me that much closer to them. We used to be quite distant with one another, but I think seeing the struggle and knowing that we're on the same team fighting this disease has really helped. In a perfect world, if you didn't have an eating disorder, what would your life look like? Honestly, I would probably have kids already. I'd be definitely doing some sort of ecology job. I probably would have done my animal ecology degree straight away. I've actually got a degree already in dietetics. So I'm a trained dietitian. I know, plot twist. But yeah, I definitely probably wouldn't have done dietetics. I fully believe that I did dietetics because of my eating disorder. So I'd be living on my house with lots of animals, my kids running around, and definitely doing nature documentaries or something to do with animals. And the last question I got was, do you have any weird skills or talents? I can chop an onion without crying, which is a useful skill to have in the kitchen. So that is something weird. And also, I'm very bendy, like I said with the Ehlers-Danlos, so I am a ninja at Twister. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this little Q&A plus lunch sesh. I just thought, yeah, it was fun just to get to know, it's fun getting to know people and just seeing like different sides of people, because I don't want this to just be recovery, eating disorder. Obviously, yeah, we get it, we're in recovery, but we don't need to talk about it all the time. But I hope you've enjoyed that Q&A. I'd love to do more in the future, and I'll probably be a bit more fluid with it. I've never done anything like this before with me just talking and eating, so I hope you enjoyed. I hope you learnt something, and thank you again so much for watching, and thank you for all of your support. It means the world to me, and I just hope that, you know, you can relate to me a little bit better and just see that I'm just a normal person just like you, and if I can do this, you can do it too. I mean, I just ate cheese on bread, I mean, it was vegan cheese, but I am terrified of cheese, and I just smashed that. So if I can smash that, you can smash your lunch, and we can do this together. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram at becomingsunshine_recovery, and I will see you in the next video, which I hope will be a challenge video, but we'll see. So I'll talk to you then.